welcome to another StockPulse.com commodity brief. Today's podcast brought to you by Alianza Minerals. Alianza trades as ANZ on the Toronto Venture Exchange, TARSF on the OTC in the States. Fresh off a capital raise of $2.25 million, now exploring the Twin Canyon Gold Project in Colorado, and set to launch a drill campaign at their Haldane Silver Project in the Keno Hill District in the Yukon Territory. Certainly a lot going on for Jason Weber and Team Alianza. Certainly keep our eye on Alianza Minerals. Again, ANZ on the venture, TARSF, OTC in the States. Okay, first out of the gate here, some of the bigger news we tracked this week. Arizona Silver, AZS on the venture, AZASF, the OTC in the States. They report some solid gold and silver intersects their Philadelphia gold and silver property in Mojave County, Arizona. I was able to catch up with CEO Mike Stark. He ran through the finer details of the release.
Hey, Rob, thank you very much for the opportunity here. Once again, we've got an exciting time here. We've hit 33.56 grams of gold, and we're very, very shallow. This is just under 27 feet of alluvial. This vein, history books, goes down as far as 500 feet, and we are in the very early stages. We are open both south, north, and down dip. As it reconfirms with old numbers from the history books when when the property was producing. And remember, we have over 44,000 ounces produced from a very small section of mining done back in the early 1900s. These now are concurred numbers looking back into the history book. So we actually have two veins running parallel, one a low grade, one a high grade. And as I mentioned, with 33.56 grams gold for a little over 7 feet thick, combined over 40 feet thick, we have 13.13 grams gold and a nice interval of over 59 grams silver. We also have a beryllium content to this that's adding future value for whoever may develop this. Again, very exciting times for Arizona Silver, very tight structure. Management owns 30% of this company. It's something very worthwhile taking a look at.
Okay, good update there, Mike Stark. Again, that's AZS on the venture, AZASF. We'll certainly keep our eyes on Arizona Silver. Next one up here, drilling in the Golden Triangle, we've got Scottie Resources, SCOT on the ventures. They report initial drill results, including a high-grade gold intercept on that Scottie Gold mine, the Ozone target. Got up with CEO Brad Rourke. Put a little color to the news.
Well, you would think market's not reacting the way we wanted, but I mean, we're extremely happy with what we found, Rob. I mean, maybe we didn't articulate it. I think the market's so starved for news because we've all been backed up with assays, and I much rather would have waited, and so I could have a few from Ozone and a few from each zone. But I just thought we'd show the market, and I couldn't sit on that hole; it's too big. Run the risk of somebody saying something. We just got it on the weekend, but I think it's sell on news in the market. But I mean, people need to realize we were following up on a hit from the 80s on the Ozone at 107 grams over 4 meters. And this would be a 30-meter step out from that intercept. So that's got to be pretty exciting, I would think. Again, I don't know if I can drill a better hole than that. I don't know if anyone will in the Golden Triangle. I sure hope so. But anyways, we're excited. We got lots of news coming, and we've hit all these zones. And again, it's just the assay labs aren't making it any easier on us because I don't know when the next time I'll have news. And I thought by releasing that, and I had to release that drill hole anyways, I would deem that material. Hopefully put a floor on us. I would have assumed we would have got a little bit more love in the market, but the cream's going to rise to the top, Rob. Yeah.
Okay, good update there, Brad Rourke. Certainly we'll check in to see if that cream, in fact, does rise to the top. Scottie Resources, SCOT on the venture. Next one up here, QMX Gold. Expand some drilling here. That's QMX on the venture. 35,000 to 45,000 meters by year end. 4 drill rigs, 3 projects near Val-d'Or in that prolific Abitibi Greenstone Belt in Quebec. Caught up with CEO Brad Humphrey. He ran through the details of the program.
Yeah, so we currently have 4 rigs turning on 3 targets. All our programs have been extremely successful to date, so that's what led us to announce the press release, or put out that press release this week, that we're expanding our drilling plans in 2020 from 35,000 meters to more than 45,000 meters. And that's in order to build out on the great success we've had. Currently, we've got 2 drill rigs on our most advanced project, the Bonifon deposit, where we've shown it expands at depth and both to the east and west. We've just completed a program to the north, and we're still awaiting results. And so 1 rig is sitting on the intrusive, following up on the deep hole we announced in August, which was spectacular. And the other rig is expanding the trend to the south. We're also expanding our program on the river target, where we reported high-grade results earlier this year. The 4th rig is completing a reconnaissance program testing a trend our neighbor discovered that extends onto our property. We also indicated in the press release that we plan to do a 35,000 meter program in the winter months using 7 drill rigs. This will be focusing mostly on the eastern side of the property, including around a past producing mine called Bevcon. And our last drill results we put out on Bevcon included a hit of 137.5 grams per ton gold over 4.3 meters. So it's truly going to be an exciting time for QMX over the next several months.
Okay, we'll keep our eye on that program. Again, that's QMX Gold, QMX on the venture. Okay, next one up, we've got Kootenay Silver. That's KTN on the venture, as they discover a broad area of silver mineralization at their JZ zone, hosting a new hydrothermal and stockwork system at that Columba project in Mexico. Caught up with CEO Jim McDonald, ran through the significance of the news for Kootenay Silver.
Yeah, well, it's great news. This is on the Columba project, and this last release was discussing what we're now calling the JZ zone, which is a new type of mineralization for the Columba property. Columba is a classic high-grade vein system. And we picked this project up in late 2018 and started drilling in last year, 2019, to confirm the historically reported high grades from early development in the early 1900s. And we were quite successful on that in what we call the F vein. There's numerous different veins here. We've named by letter mostly. And we follow-up drilling this year is just systematically testing that F vein and going around testing the other veins, some of which we had holes into last year, and that includes this J and Z zone. And what's different about it is the JZ zone also has classic veins in it, but there's this broad stockwork of disseminated low-grade and medium-grade silver with these real nice high-grade pops and these hydrothermal breccias. So you can build that sort of a host. You can build real good tonnage and ounces potentially very quickly in a relatively small aerial extent, because you build up a lot. There's a lot bigger volumes you may have. And you're looking at our cross sections here. What we've drilled across this zone so far, it looks like quite a robust zone. We can see it in surface for about 800 meters. On surface, the values are quite low. The other thing about this property is that the grades at surface are pretty low to almost no silver, but as you go to depth, the grade picks up, and that's a classic geologic model for these types of systems as well. So it fits very well. It also tells us we're at the very top of this system. So whatever was deposited there is almost all still remains, with very little erosion having happened in this silver system. So yeah, we're very excited about it. We some of the widths across here, like hole 60 is one of the big highlights. 64 meters, or 132 grams of broad, medium grade there, and then real nice cores of 11 meters of over 360 grams and 608 grams over 5 meters and stuff like that. And wherever we see the hydrothermal breccias, where we can expect to have a high grade pop, and so that now we're understanding the geometry, how to follow up with the drilling, and we'll conclude this program and then get back to that follow up and definition of this body here in the next program.
Okay, appreciate that update from Jim McDonald. We'll certainly keep our eye on Kootenay Silver, again, KTN on the venture. Next one up here, Fremont Gold, FRE on the venture, FRERF, OTC in the States, as they're set to, for the first time, drill that North Carlin project in Nevada. Got up with CEO Blaine Monaghan. He laid out why they're excited over there at Fremont Gold.
Sure. Well, it is important news for Fremont Gold. This will be the first program ever for us, and as far as we're aware, anybody else at the North Carlin Gold Project. We staked a number of important claims here in 2017. It's right at the northern end of the Carlin Trend, which is one of the most prolific gold districts in the world. It's produced more than 84 million ounces gold since the initial Carlin discovery in the early 60s. Nevada Gold Mines, the Barrick-Newmont joint venture, the Carlin Complex hosts more than 30 million ounces gold M&I, so it is just an absolute fantastic place to have a project, and we're very strategically located at the northern end. We've identified a number of exciting targets, and we're looking forward to moving forward and drilling them sometime later this fall.
Appreciate that update. Blaine Monaghan, CEO, Fremont Gold, FRE on the venture, FRERF, OTC in the States. Certainly keep our eye on that when they have those results back from the lab. Next one up here, Radisson Mining Resources, RDS on the venture, RMRDF, OTC in the States. They did some step-out drilling and had some intersects. The O'Brien Gold Project, located along that Larder Lake Cadillac break. I caught up with the communications team, Hubert, Parent-Bouchard. He broke down the latest news and how it impacts the company.
Yeah, we've been very pleased with the targeting efforts from our exploration team. Since we started drilling on that 60,000 meter drilling program. So until yesterday, what we've been able to define is three enrichment vector. Basically, starting 300 meter east of the old O'Brien mine, which is the historical richest mine by grade in Quebec, with a production at 15 grams per ton. And what our model suggested so far was that we could repeat the mine every 300 meters or so with the repetition of this system. And yesterday we published very interesting intercepts in hole 153, including 92 grams over 2.6 meters and 47 grams over 2.5 meters. This drill hole was completed halfway between the first trend and the historic O'Brien. So what it suggests, it's that trend could expand laterally, and this area is a gap area where we haven't done much drilling thus far. And it's mainly open, apart from historical intercepts that suggest that it could continue way deeper. So it's very interesting for Radisson.
Okay, I'll keep our eyes on Radisson Mining Resources, RDS on the venture, RMRDF, OTC in the States. Again, thanks to Hubert Parent-Bouchard for that update. Well, that's the rundown for this week on the StockPulse.com commodity brief and who I was able to locate. We certainly hope this helped clarify any questions you may have or giving you some good ideas on where companies are at with their progress. If you're a fan of the show and information, please follow the channel, share the broadcast. Back next week with more commentary for some of the bigger news within the commodity sector.